Yo, what's going on guys? Faye here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing our SDL low tier draft analysis. So yes, SDL has recently started a low tier league, and I did participate. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I really did like my draft a lot, so I hope you guys like it too. And be sure to like the video if you like it and subscribe for more. Low tier power rankings will also be coming relatively soon, so I hope that excites you all. Yeah, I hope you guys are ready for all that. Let me turn down the music kind of loud in my ear. Anyway, as you can see, the first pick was Mienshao, which I believe is easily a top 3 mon in the format. So yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's got quite a good speed tier, especially for low tier. It might be some of the fastest mons in some matchups. It also has Regenerator and Reckless, which are both really good abilities, and their Focus, which I don't know, I'm not going to use, but you never know. And then obviously you can see its stats, really good physical attack and usable special attack, so that's awesome. And like I said, Mienshao, I don't know what I said actually, but Mienshao is a really good mon, top 3 mon in the format, I think. It's just such a good pivot with U-turn, and then obviously it can break with Reckless Choice Band or something like that. So that's part of why it's so good, and it just really applies a lot of offensive pressure. So I thought it made sense to start my draft off with Mienshao. Anyway, next up, I was like, okay, Mienshao is going to struggle with Psychic types and Poison types a lot. So I was like, Mienshao probably has an easier time with Psychic types because it can U-turn, super effective damage, knock off, super effective damage. So I was like, okay, let's get something to help against Poison types. So I picked up Seismitoad, which is obviously a ground water type, which can deal with most Poison types, not named Moongus. So went ahead and picked up Toad, and as you can see, it has some pretty good abilities. Honestly, 3 good abilities, which can all be usable. And then it also offers an extremely good Stealth Rocker, which is great to have, especially early on, with a mon like Mienshao, which is really going to benefit from that chip damage. Obviously, it's bulky, which is awesome. It's a good thing to have. It's really going to help with rain matchups as it has Water Absorb and Swift Swim. So it's going to force me to prep for Swift Swim and Water Absorb, which is going to be really nice to have ensure that they're doing that. So yeah, I really like Toad pairing with Mienshao. Should be able to get rocks up a lot for it, and should help against rain matchups, and should help against pretty much every team. Being a really good Stealth Rocker, probably one of the best in the format. Anyway, next up, I was like, okay, so we have most of Mienshao's things covered, so let's go ahead and get rid of Seismitoad's only weakness and make sure that we have a resist for that, and we actually have probably the best resist in the format. Maybe not true, but one of the best resists in the format in Moltres, which is extremely good here. Like I said, great versatility. Can be offensive, it can be defensive, it can be sort of a stall breaker with sub roost and pressure. So I'm really excited to use this mon, especially boots. And like a lot of the time, Moltres will get its boost knocked off, but in this format, I'm not sure if it can get its boots knocked off as much, especially if I play to the best of my abilities, which hopefully I can do. But yeah, this covers Seismitoad weakness really well. 4 times resist grass, which is awesome. And then it's obviously weak to water and electric, and Toad also covers that. It's also weak to rock. But yeah, really good mon here, and I'm definitely happy that I did draft that guy Moltres. Like I said, really pairs well with Seismitoad, and it's also a defogger, first one on the team, which is nice to have. And yeah, next up, I went ahead and picked up my boy Drapion. And I was like, okay, so I don't want a bad dark type, especially in low tier, so I'm not losing to the good psychic types every time I play them. You know what I mean? So I really thought that it would be important to get a good dark type. And it also provided me T-Spikes and more bulk, which is really good. I think T-Spikes with Mienshao and Moltres especially can be very good because Moltres can run sub, and then T-Spikes can get that definitely needed chip for Mienshao to just clean the game. So I am a big fan of Drapion here on this team. It also does cover what Mienshao is weak to and a resist, which is Psychic, and it's a Dark type. So yeah, really like that there. Obviously, it's weak to ground, and we have Seismitoad, which will be able to take most ground hits. And we have Moltres, which does have an immunity to ground. So I do really like that. Like I said, not like I said, like I said, like I said. Um, anyway, Moltres and Drapion are also really good speed tiers to add with Mienshao because, yeah, they're really good speed tiers because Moltres is what 15 slower than Mienshao, which is the perfect range, and we have Mon in the middle. So we're really going to put pressure on Mons to not let them run good natures and force EVs. So I am liking that a lot. Anyway, next up, I picked up Serena, which was really important because it completed the Fire, Water, Grass core. And I know those cores aren't necessary, but they are actually really still kind of good to have. And I believe the synergy also fit really good on this team. Wow, I misspelled Majesty. That's crazy. I mean, am I surprised? No. Anyway, like I said, I think that this mon really does fit well with the team, providing more momentum, which I do really like with Mienshao. That we can just get that momentum, chip down the team, win with Mienshao. You know what I mean? Really do like that. Like I said, it provides a great spinner for the team and another form of hazard removal, which is awesome. And I won't have to get rid of like my T-spikes as well, which is really good. And it's actually quite bulky. We'll be able to deal with a lot of ground types. That way there's a lot less pressure on Seismitoad to deal with everything defensively, which can sometimes be a problem for Toad, especially if you force it to check so much stuff by itself. So I think that's a really good thing to have here with Serena. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that. Next up, we have Ambipom, one speed tier higher than our Mienshao. Like I said, it's speedy. That boy is speedy, as you can see on the slide there. Ambipom is quite the fast boy, and honestly, that's the main thing I drafted him for. But it also does provide decent support with like Fake Out and U-Turn. Like I said, I really like that momentum-based player, no doubt. So I really do enjoy having that. Anyway, yeah, and it's a decent breaker as well, especially if you put that Silk Scarf on it. It's going to do extremely good. So I am really liking that. Honestly, there's not much to say about Ambipom. It's an Ambipom. We know what Ambipom does, but I do think it fits really well, especially in low tier, where teams aren't going to be able to deal with no normal types as well if they have a bad steel type or if they don't have a ghost type. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. That's that thought process. Anyway, next up, we're going to get to one of my favorite parts of the team, which is going to be Raichu Alolan. So, yeah, here you can see Raichu and its stats, Surge Surfer, and it's a powerful special attacker, which we didn't need. We only had really Moltres and kind of Seismitoad if I decide to go offensive in certain matchups, right? So I'm like, okay, let's pick up Raichu and see if we can pair it with that boy, Pincurchin. These two do go hand in hand. So we got Pincurchin as well, which of course has Electric Surge, and now we have a little bit of an Electric Spam core going on, which really is nice. And now teams are really going to have to prep for Raichu every game, because Raichu can win the game if they do not prep for it. And the thing about Raichu is that it has Stab Psychic on top of Rising Voltage, which can really cause problems for some ground types. So I'm really excited to use Raichu Alola here along with Pincurchin and just spam Rising Voltage, man. I'm really excited. Also, Pincurchin does add a Spiker, which is something that I think the team does appreciate a lot. And then Raichu obviously will be the fastest mon on the field pretty much, unless we're playing a really fast Rain Abuser. I don't know if there's a Rain Abuser faster than Raichu though, so I don't think Barraskewda is loud. So I think Raichu will probably be the fastest mon on the field when the Electric Surge is up pretty much 99% of the time, unless I'm missing something. So really am going to be loving Raichu this season, I think. I'm really excited to try to put that work in with the Raichu. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about Pincurchin. Pincurchin actually does hit quite hard, as it doesn't even have that much lower of a special attack stat than Raichu. As you can see, it's 91. It's not super bulky with that only 48 HP, but its defensive can make up for it slightly, so that's awesome. And then, like I said, Spiker, which is really nice. Potential Trick Room, something to detour Trick Room a little bit because it's so slow, which is going to be nice as well. Yeah, I really am excited to use Pincurchin and Raichu this season and see what I can do with that electric spam. Because Rising Voltage does seem like it's going to be quite fun. Anyway, next up, we got Mawile. So Mawile is Mawile's my Steel type, and you'd be like, wow, Mawile, that's a horrible Pokemon. And you're like, and I would reply that yes, Mawile is bad, but it's actually I think it's a decent value pick in low tier, as it was 3 points, I think, and it provided me a Stealth Rocker and Intimidate, which can be definitely very helpful right now. Right now can be very helpful, especially since I only had one Stealth Rocker. So adding Mawile will be a huge plus, and I can't wait to use it, to be honest. That's also my first Fairy type. I drafted another one. But yeah, I think it can be good, and it also has Sheer Force, so maybe I can run off into Mawile. We'll see. Anyway, go ahead and get into the next mon. These next few are not the best mons, obviously, because I was getting low on points. So next up, we got Morgrem. So Morgrem provides me with Prankster screens, and that's the only reason I drafted it. But it should be quite useful here, because I'm really going to force teams to prep for screens, and if I win 1 week with it, I will force teams to prep with it for it following weeks for sure. So I think that's important to take into account. So you have I could bring screens, and I could just like set up with a mon and win the game. So I do think that's something I want to drill his screens, and I do like that, as it gives me several modes to my team, potentially like electric spam, just hard balance, you know what I mean? I can go HO with just like Sash Pincurchin League or like Spikes or something, I don't know. So I do like that, and obviously you can go HO with screens as well. So I do really like the Morgrem pick. Anyway, next up, and last but not least, is Shelgon. Shelgon is really bulky, as you can see. Base 100 defense with 65 HP is actually pretty good for low tier, especially with the Violet, and 50 Spadef isn't that bad, especially with the Violet. Also, it has access to Wish, which means that it can be a solid Wish passer, which is really nice because my team is pretty hard balanced. So being able to pass Wishes to a boy, Seismitoad, will be really nice, and I'm quite excited to do that. So that's really all it's going to provide though, but Shelgon does have matchups. I definitely does. Shout out to Habita for showing us the way. Anyway, that's the team, and I could go over it a little bit more in depth, I guess, for a little bit. So, like I said, I think Mienshao is an extremely good Pokemon. I think it's top 3 in the format, and I do believe I can use it to its best ability. And I really do like the versatility my team has. Besides into a Moltres, which can be offensive or defensive, depending on the matchup. And then obviously Seismitoad is an extremely good rocker. It's always a good rocker no matter what format it's in. Drapion is an extremely good dark type, and I can't wait to use it. T-Spikes is also really good to pair with Moltres and Mienshao, and really just in general, T-Spikes are really good. So glad that I have that. And it's a really good dark type, which is definitely something that's important to have. Serena, really good grass type. Good spinner to help if I want to bring HO to some games, which is pretty much part of the low tier meta. And low tier, HO is really good. So being able to have these mons that can perform several things at once is going to be really nice, and having the ability to run HO is going to be really nice. Ambipom as a mon I'm a little iffy about, because I might want to throw in another mon instead, but we'll see how it goes after a week or two. But Ambipom is really speedy, and gets Fake Out, Silk Scarf. I loved Ambipom when I used it in a team tour in Gen 7, so hopefully it translates to low tier 3. Okay. And then obviously we have Raichu and Mienshao, and I really do love these guys, and I can't wait to use them. Just really want to put in work with that rising voltage. I'm pretty excited to do so. Also, Raichu can function outside of Electric Surge, which is awesome. It's still a good mon outside of Electric Surge, just in general. So, yeah, it should be quite solid there. Mawile, pretty much went over. It's a 3-pointer, I believe, so these last 3 guys aren't exactly the most useful guys, but they do have matchups, and I probably will bring. So, just letting y'all know, make sure you prep for that. Alright. Thank you guys for watching the video for my draft analysis for low tier, and like I said, power rankings will be coming out soon, so be lookouts for that, and subscribe for that, and like the video if you like it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.